Nana, first question is simply, why did you decide to write a book?
Man, I wanted to keep my brain sharp. I wasn't going to school anymore, just playing basketball. So I just started writing each year about my experiences, where I was at, what I was doing, teammates I had, what kind of that experience was like. And then when I realized I wasn't going to play as long as I thought, which was like probably close to 10 years, I was like, oh, maybe I could turn this into a little book, because I doubt people want to read about, the 10 years of basketball that I had originally planned. So when it ended up being 4 years, I was just thinking, yeah, maybe I could turn this into something. And then the book was the idea, talking to my wife and getting really ideas on like the process and what we kind of want the main story and message to be about. We decided, let's do the book. She was my editor, and I just kind of talked about my experiences.
How long did it take?
It took probably like total work time, maybe like 2 years, I would say. I mean, I was working, like I said, I was working on it every year, but it was just really rough and not very put together. And then, like I said, talking to my wife and just like narrowing down like a story or a message, that made it more of a holistic and complete project then. But it did take a while, especially the editing portion and revisions and everything like that. It's a very hard process writing a book, and I was writing about stuff that's already happened. So I can imagine authors actually making stuff out of thin air and writing a book that way, that's got to be, I commend them for that. So
I know you've mentioned before that people thought you're playing pro ball, making a little money, you're living the dream, but that wasn't the case. Why wasn't it the case?
I mean, it's very challenging to play professionally. It's a toll on your body, and overseas adds a toll on your mind. You're away from everything. You feel isolated. You don't feel like you belong. You walk out on the street, you don't hear that language close to what you could understand. So you always feel like outsider in that sense. Not even just like your visa or your permanent residence saying that you're an outsider, but like just the whole world around you saying you're an outsider. So that weighs on you after like 10 months. 8 to 10 month season, and then sometimes basketball's not going well either. You're playing bad, and I was on a lot of teams where I played once a week. So you have 2 bad games, it's just like you're sitting with that. And it's tough, and it's very cutthroat out there. You get cut, you get fired. They really want you to produce as an American. So there's good parts to it, don't get me wrong, and I mentioned good parts in the book as well, but it's a lot of challenging parts that make the experience tough, I would say.
Have you overcome any mental health issues that you had, and if so, how were you able to do that?
I mentioned in the book, I had to change my mindset, change it more from a victim mindset to this is the circumstance I have, this is the cards that I've been dealt, and I have to do things in order to overcome that. Whether it's the smallest thing, I said that in the book as well, whether it's small things like taking a walk or figuring out something or just doing something for myself. It was those little things that it's a battle every day. You can't just fall into the routine of basketball and putting all your eggs in that basket, because it's so unpredictable out there, and it's very challenging, it's very cutthroat. So if you put all your eggs in that, you can experience some really low lows. On the flip side, you can experience some really high highs, but I try to just spread out my eggs into other baskets and do things I'm passionate about, things I like, and eventually that started changing my mindset and changing my mental state.
You're working with kids here at Exeter High School. How much do you enjoy that?
That's awesome. That's awesome. Just seeing the smile on these kids' faces and the joy they have, the innocence they have, and we just try to keep it fun. This camp is just about getting out here 3 days and just having fun, and then you can take a little bit of tools here and there. You can learn a little bit here and there. That's great, but the main objective is to have fun, and they seem like they're having a great time. So that's what all that matters.
You traveled the world through basketball. Give me your top 3 favorite cities.
Rome, Paris, and Jerusalem.
And what about those did you like the most?
A lot of it has to do with the time I went, and it's like I said, one of the things I did to help my mental was travel. So a lot of it is like the time. I went to Rome after the season. I went to Paris during a break, during Christmas break. So the times I went, and then Jerusalem was my first break that in my first year. So the times that I went really kind of gave me like a decompressing feeling, taking like weights off my shoulder type of feeling of like the stress of the season. I didn't really think about the season while I was in those places, and that made me enjoy it more. And then on top of that, it's just great places.
Yeah.
There's a lot to do. There's a lot to see. They're beautiful. A lot of history packed in all those places. So those were really the reasons why.
I've been covering high school sports almost 25 years now. I often tell people you were the most improved player I ever
Thank
saw. Because sometimes people see Division I players, and as 8th, 9th graders, they were superstars.
Yeah.
You were pretty raw coming up. What drove you to improve so much? What was your inspiration?
Just to get better. A part of it is also believing in myself and seeing that I could get there. I was just talking to somebody about this the first time I went to Bucknell, how I saw other people working and my teammates, how I saw their approach to the game, and I knew that I had to raise my level up in order to succeed at Bucknell. So that was one of the things, just like watching and looking around and seeing if the goals that I have for myself are attainable. I never set goals that I can't reach. So seeing if the goals were attainable, and then making a plan how I'm going to work and how I'm going to achieve these things. And I just stacked days after that, keep stacking days, and eventually people saw the product and people saw the finished product. So
Do you think you'll write another book, or are you a one and done as far as authors go?
That process was very, very difficult, which was fun though. It was fun to do because it challenged me in a different way. I've never been challenged like that. Most of my life is basketball, so taking the time to do such a detailed project, a demanding project, was really good. I don't know if I will. I definitely don't have the pull to do it now.
Yeah.
But I had it back then, and I'm glad I did it and went through with it, because a lot of times you have projects like that and you just like half do it or just have an idea about it and you don't really do it. But I'm glad I went through with it.
It's called Through the Lens of a Game. Where can people find it?
On Amazon, on Amazon, or if you go on any of my social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you can find it in the bio. Just click the link, purchase it. You can get an ebook, paperback, or hardcover, whatever you want, and take a read and just give me your honest feedback. I mean, I've loved the feedback so far. People have enjoyed it. So, yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I've seen the reviews. They're very good.
Yeah.
Last thing on a lighter note, you know about big guys and playing a center position.
Yeah.
Better center, Jokic or Embiid?
It's Jokic, for sure.
Really?
Yeah,
You know we're like an hour from Philly.
I know.
Why do you say
Right.
Jokic?
He just does a lot. And you can't really game plan for him. He's gonna pick you apart with passing. He's gonna pick you apart with scoring. He's definitely a tough cover. But Embiid is also tough as well. So don't get me wrong. It's like choosing two greats right there. Embiid does a lot too. He can score the ball at a high level. But if I had to choose one, I had to go to Jokic. If I had to guard one back in my day, I would probably not want to guard Jokic. I'd probably pick Embiid over Jokic.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate your time, and best of luck to you.
Thank you.